Helping someone move should be simple until you realize what they're really transporting. Story 1. The manifest for the Miller job was sparse. Antique furniture, heavy, handle with care, no questions. The pay was triple the industry standard, cash up front. That should have been my first red flag. Instead, I saw a new transmission for my truck and a way to clear my debts. The pickup point was a jagged scar of a house swallowed by the suffocating pines of the Blackwood foothills. Mr. Miller stood on the porch, his skin the color of curdled milk. He didn't blink. When I pulled the truck to the gravel apron, he didn't greet me. He pointed toward the cellar bulkhead. "The crate is already packed," he rasped, his voice sounding like dry leaves skittering over pavement. "Down there. Do not, under any circumstances, let it tip." The basement was freezing, smelling of ozone and wet earth. The crate was massive, reinforced with iron bands that hummed with a low, rhythmic vibration. It didn't just feel heavy, it felt dense, as if it held the gravity of a collapsed star. 4 of us struggled to winch it up the ramp. Each step felt like walking through invisible cobwebs that clung to my skin, weeping a cold, viscous liquid. As we secured the load, I looked at Miller. He was clutching a small, tarnished silver bell, his knuckles white. "Just drive," he commanded, his eyes darting to the truck's cargo bay. "And don't stop for the lights." The drive was an exercise in mounting dread. Every time I hit a pothole, a sound emanated from the trailer. Not a thud, but a wet, sliding noise, like something boneless reconfiguring itself against the wood. I checked the rearview mirror. The cargo straps were shifting. One had snapped, dangling loose like a severed vein. I pulled over at an isolated rest stop to secure it, my hands shaking. I climbed into the back, my flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. The crate was vibrating violently now, the iron bands glowing with a faint, sickly violet light. Then I heard it. A soft, rhythmic scratching from inside, followed by a voice. It wasn't human. It was a perfect, distorted mimicry of my own voice, whispering, "Let me out. It's cramped in here." I backed away, heart hammering against my ribs, but the truck door slammed shut behind me. The latch clicked, locked from the outside. Outside, the silence was absolute. I realized then that the woods had gone quiet. No crickets, no wind, nothing. I pounded on the metal doors, but my own voice echoed back at me from inside the crate, mocking, deeper, and hungrier. When the truck started moving again, I wasn't the one in the driver's seat. Through the crack in the door, I saw a pale, elongated hand. Too many joints, skin like curdled milk, reach for the steering wheel. We were heading back to the house, and I knew, with a certainty that turned my blood to ice, that I wasn't the mover anymore. I was the inventory. Story 2. The job listing on the site was vague. Heavy lifting, private estate, night shift, cash payment. I pulled the 26-foot Ryder truck up the winding gravel driveway of a property tucked deep within the Blackwood pines. My employer, a man named Mr. Vane, stood on the porch. He was unnervingly still, his face obscured by the brim of a wide hat. He didn't offer a handshake, only a nod toward the house. "Load the basement first," he rasped. "Do not open the crates. If you hear scratching, ignore it. It's just the settling of the floorboards." The basement was freezing, smelling of ozone and copper. As I hauled the first crate, a heavy coffin-sized chest bound in rusted iron chains, a low, rhythmic thudding emanated from within. It wasn't wood expanding. It was the sound of something wet and heavy hitting the interior lid. My heart hammered against my ribs, but the envelope of cash sitting on the passenger seat kept me moving. By the third trip, the silence of the woods felt suffocating. I parked the truck near the loading dock, the oversized mirrors reflecting nothing but the swaying skeletal branches of the trees. As I heaved the last crate onto the truck bed, I noticed a viscous, dark fluid leaking from the corner. It wasn't oil. It was thick, maroon, and pooling on the metal floor of the truck. I went to latch the roll door, but paused. From inside the truck, there was a sound, a soft, wet clicking, like teeth against hardwood. Finished? Vane's voice came from directly behind me. I spun around. He was inches away, his breath smelling of wet earth. "What is in these?" I asked, my voice trembling. He tilted his head, his eyes reflecting no light. "Your cargo is sentient and it is hungry. You're not being paid to move furniture. You're being paid to deliver the meal." I bolted for the cab, but he moved with a speed that defied his age, slamming the driver's side door shut before I could reach it. He didn't lock it. He leaned against it, his hand pressing a heavy iron key into my palm. "Drive to the coordinates on the dashboard," he whispered, gesturing to the truck. I looked into the side mirror. The roll door of the truck was slowly, agonizingly inching upward. A pale, multi-jointed hand, gray and slick with that same dark fluid, gripped the edge of the metal frame. "If you stop," Vane said, stepping back into the shadows of the porch, "it will find you. If you finish the delivery, you keep the money. If you don't, well, you're already in the truck, aren't you?" The engine roared to life on its own. The door slammed shut, locking me in with the scratching. As the truck lurched forward into the dark, I heard the latch on the back door click open completely. Something inside had stopped scratching and started climbing.